Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam kasih. Salam IPGM KTHO Kelas Pertama 2025. Salam IPGM Peneraju Pendidikan Kecemerlangan Guru Bertaraf Dunia. Salam Malaysia Madani, salam kasih dan salam IPGM KTHO Kelas Pertama 2025. Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Nordin bin Abu Bakar, Pengarah IPGM Kampus Tun Hussein On, yang dihormati Dr. Hairiah binti Munib, Timbalan Pengarah IPGM Kampus Tun Hussein On, yang dikasihi Ketua-Ketua Jabatan, Ketua-Ketua Unit, para pensyarah, semua staf warga IPGM Kampus Tun Hussein On, dan tuan-puan semua yang berada di hadapan layar sekalian. Saya selaku moderator pada pagi ini, Irdina Wahida binti Muhammad Rasid, pelajar PPSMP ambilan Ogos 2024 bagi option TESOL dari IPGM Kampus Tun Hussein On. Alhamdulillah, setinggi-tinggi kesyukuran panjat kehadrat ilahi kerana dengan izin dan limpah kurnianya, kita dapat menjalankan webinar Wacana Ilmiah 4.0 pada kali ini. Tema Wacana Ilmiah ini adalah Pendidikan Madani Aspirasi Pembangunan Karamah Insaniah. Bagi menambahkan keberkatan, mari sama-sama kita mulakan majlis ini dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Tuan-puan yang dihormati sekalian, untuk makluman semua, program Wacana Ilmiah 4.0 ini merupakan anjuran Jabatan Perancangan Penyelidikan Inovasi IPGM Kampus Tun Hussein On. Puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian, sebelum saya menjemput panel kita bagi memberikan perkongsian pada hari ini, izinkan saya untuk memperkenalkan panel kita yang amat berpengalaman dan bersemangat dalam bidang pendidikan. Tanpa membuang masa, dengan segala hormatnya, saya memperkenalkan panel kita pada pagi ini, iaitu Nur Aina Sofia binti Zulkifli, alias Zulkifli, dan Nurul Syuhada binti Muhammad Nur. Mereka merupakan pelajar ambilan Jun 2021 hingga Julai 2025 dari option TESOL yang telah melalui praktikum fasa 1. Mereka telah menjalani latihan praktikum di mana mereka telah memperoleh pengalaman berharga dalam merancang pengajaran, mengurus bilik darjah dan membina komunikasi yang berkesan dengan murid serta warga sekolah. Dengan itu, tajuk perkongsian mereka bagi sesi wacana ilmiah kita pada kali ini ialah Practicum Experience. Untuk makluman semua, jika ada sebarang pertanyaan, boleh diajukan menerusi ruangan chat YouTube. Jawapan panel-panel akan dimasukkan semula ke dalam ruangan chat oleh pihak urus setia. Baiklah, tanpa membuang masa lagi, dipersilakan Nur Aina Sofia dan Nurul Syahada untuk memberikan perkongsian pada hari ini.
Thank you, moderator, for this opportunity to share our practicum journey in today's Wacana Ilmiah 4.0. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today, me, Nur Aina Sofia, and my partner Shuhada, we're fortunate to have done our practicum together at SK Seri Sabah Uni. It was truly an eye-opening experience that allowed us to grow not only as future educators but also as individuals. I had the privilege of teaching year 4 while Shuhada taught year 6. So during those 3 months, we encountered a range of challenges, celebrated numerous triumphs, and also gained valuable insights that will stay with us throughout our teaching careers in the future. So, Shuhada, why don't you start by sharing some of your experiences?
Yes, thank you, Sophia. First and foremost, Alhamdulillah, we both made it through those 3 months of practicum successfully. So I would like to express my deepest gratitude to my parents for their endless prayers and also encouragement, and to you, Sophia, and our other 2 practicum partners, Dini and Raihana, for being such a constant source of support and motivation. My heartfelt thanks also go to the school community of SK Sri Sabah Uni for their warm welcome and also guidance, as well as to our supervisor, Dr. Kilili, for her invaluable feedback and also encouragement throughout this journey. So back to your question just now, Sophia. Of course, teaching your seat was an enriching and challenging experience. Mm, One of the most memorable challenges that I remember I faced was working with a pupil who was often silent and disengaged in class. At first, I struggled to understand what was holding him back. So, after observing him and speaking with some of his friends, I realized he felt overwhelmed by the high expectation placed on him as he prepared for his transition to high school. So, to address this, I adapted my teaching strategies. So, I introduced something like interactive teaching methods such as games and also group projects, which actually help create a more relaxed and inclusive classroom environment. Mm, so after that, gradually, I see that he started participating more actively, asking questions, and even like taking the lead in group activities. So it was such a fulfilling moment for me as a teacher. And you know what? I believe that it also reinforced the importance of being adaptable and empathetic in the classroom. So, what about you, Sophia? So, how was your experience with year four?
That is so inspiring, Shuhada. So for me, teaching year four was definitely a unique and memorable experience with its own challenge and rewards. From the very first day, I noticed how lively and energetic my pupils were. Their excitement and curiosity made the classroom fun, but it also made it a little bit hard for me to keep them focused during lessons. It often felt like a challenge to channel their energy into productive learning. So, to manage this, I tried different activities that match their energy and keep them interested. For example, I used role playing in English lessons where pupils acted out short dialogues or stories. This made the lessons more interactive and helped them practice speaking and also listening skills. Not only that, I also added storytelling sessions where they created and shared their own stories. I think it was a great way to improve their creativity and understanding of key vocabulary. Besides, we did art-based projects like drawing or making posters, which help them stay engaged and engaged while reinforcing the lesson content. So, to encourage good behavior and participation, I started a reward system where pupils earn stickers or stars for completing tasks or behaving well during the teaching and learning um, in the classroom. Um, so, so far, they love it. It motivated them to stay focused and even created friendly competition as they were harder to earn rewards. Over time, I saw a big change in them, in which they became more attentive during lessons and they were very excited to join in any activities that I conducted. So, what made it special was how these small changes brought the class together. The pupils were more enthusiastic, confident, and eager to learn. So seeing them actively participate and enjoy the lessons reminded me why I chose to become a teacher. It is all about helping pupils to grow and making learning a positive experience for them. Looking back, Shuhada, my question is, how did teaching your sis shape your perspective as a future educator?
Yes, thank you, Sophia. That was such a good sharing. And back to your questions. For me, teaching music was truly an eye-opening experience for me. It's like it made me realize that being a teacher is far more than just delivering lessons and going through textbooks. It's like more to about understanding the individual needs of every pupils, recognizing their unique and individual strengths and also challenges, plus like finding ways to support them holistically, both academically and also emotionally. For instance, mm, like I remembered as I was preparing my pupils for their academic journey ahead, I had to ensure that they feel emotionally supported, especially since they were facing important transition periods, like preparing for their finals exam before entering the high school since they were year 6, right? So balancing the demands of academic rigor with an empathetic approach was not always easy. There were like times where I had to remind myself to slow down, listen, and also be patient. Yet, it was incredibly rewarding to see my pupils' confidence grow as I supported them in overcoming not only academic hurdles but also personal ones. So, another major takeaway from this experience was how much it enhanced my classroom management skills. Like my year 6 is like almost 30 pupils. So, working with 30 pupils, each with unique personalities, learning styles, and also needs, taught me a great deal about patience, resilience, and also adaptability. It also underscored like the importance of creativity in maintaining a conducive and also engaging learning environment. In a class with so many pupils, finding ways to keep everyone engaged and motivated was a challenge that I had to tackle every single day. But Alhamdulillah, over time, I discovered that using a mix of fun activities, clear expectations, and also positive reinforcement made all the difference. So, what about you, Sophia? I know that we've both faced challenge, but I'm more curious to hear if there were any key takeaways from your practicum that stood out to you.
Absolutely, Shuhada. For me, one of the biggest lessons I learned during my practicum was the critical importance of empathy in teaching. Empathy. So many of my year 4 pupils came from diverse socio-economic backgrounds, and many of them faced personal challenge that affected their performance in the classroom. So by taking the time to understand their individual circumstance, I was able to connect with them on a deeper level. So this empathy allowed me to build stronger, more trusting relationship with my pupils, which in turn made a huge difference in their engagement and also motivations in the classroom. For example, there was a particular pupil who was often disengaged and struggled with her work. After talking with her, I learned that she was going through some difficulties at home. I made a point to check on her regularly, offering both academic and also emotional support. And then slowly I saw a shift in her attitude, and she began to what we call that actively participate in class activities. I think that was one of the most rewarding experience of my practicum, knowing that I played a part in helping my students overcome their challenge. And one of my most fulfilling moments was also watching some of my, we call that, shy pupils blossom in confidence, especially during group discussions, group works, and also class presentations. These pupils who once hesitate to speak began to find their voice, and their confidence grew with each interaction. So for me, seeing their progress and knowing that I contribute to build that self assurance made every challenge worthwhile. So it was incredibly fulfilling to witness their transformation over the weeks. Speaking of memorable moments, Shuhada, um, do you have a favorite memory from our time at SK Sri Sabah Uni?
Mm, Definitely. So for me, I think that one of the most what we call it touching moments was the farewell party at the end of our practicum. It's like it wasn't just any ordinary gathering, but it was a beautifully planned and heartfelt event organized by the pupils and teachers. They gave us like handwritten notes filled with kind words, prepared thoughtful farewell gift, and also delivered sincere emotional speeches that reflected how much they appreciated our time there. So for me, seeing the effort that they put into the event, like from decoration to small meaningful gestures, was truly overwhelming and heartwarming lah. So it was during that moment that I truly realized the depth of the bond we had formed with the school community. It is something like it wasn't just about the lesson we taught or the activity we planned, but it also about like the relationship we built and also the trust and respect that we shared. So the connection felt so personal, like so genuine. So it went beyond the classroom walls and became something truly special, knowing that we had managed to make even a small difference in their life. And plus, I believe that seeing how much they valued our presence was both humbling and affirming. It was a moment that reminded me of why I chose to pursue teaching in the first place. So, what about you, Sophia? I also want to know how did you feel during the farewell ceremony?
For me, it was incredibly emotional moment for me as well. So my year four pupils, can I tell you story? So my year four pupils surprised me with a handmade card that was filled with their adorable drawings, colorful hearts, and heartfelt message like, "We will miss you, Miss Sophia. Thank you for everything, Miss Sophia. We love you, Miss Sophia." And the card was so personal. Each message, I think it is unique, and it was a gesture that caught me completely off guard. And some of the pupils even drew pictures of us together, sketch of me with them in the classroom. It was such a simple yet a deeply meaningful gesture that I will treasure forever in my life. So the love and thoughtfulness behind it made me realize just how much of an impact of a teacher can have on their pupils. Um, at that moment, I felt a rush of gratitude, pride, and a little sadness knowing that our time together was coming to an end. I could see the genuine affection they had for me, and it reminded me that teaching is not just about what we call that going through a syllabus or teaching academic concepts. It is about forming connections, understanding your pupils as individuals, and also supporting them not just in their learning but also in their personal growth. And also the farewell was a powerful reminder that teaching is not just about imparting knowledge. It is more than that. It is about building meaningful relationship and leaving a lasting positive impression on our pupils' life. It reinforced for me that the most valuable lessons are not always those written in textbooks. The lessons that remain with them, that once they carry forward, are those that nurture their emotional well-being, self-confidence, and sense of belonging. So these are the moments that truly make a difference in their life. um, for me, I will never forget how the pupils' faces lit up when I opened the card. It made me realize that even the smallest gestures, like showing up every day with patience, enthusiasm, and care, can mean the world to our pupils. It was a simple act, but in that moment, I felt like I had truly made a difference. It is moments like this that solidify why I choose to become a teacher, to touch lives in ways that go beyond academic achievement.
Yes, absolutely, Sophia. I do agree with you a lot. I believe that the support we received from the school made all the difference in our practicum experience. Like, don't you agree that SK Sri Sabah Uni provided an excellent environment for us to grow as future teachers? Like, even from the very beginning, the teachers and staff were incredibly welcoming and also offered us valuable guidance every step of the way. They did not like just help us with lesson planning or classroom management, but they also shared their experiences, their what I call it teaching philosophies, and also their insight into how to build a meaningful connection with the pupils. For me, it felt like a collaborative space where we were encouraged to experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them without any fear or fear of judgment. So, and one more thing, I remember how our mentor teachers were always approachable. Like Madam Khalila and also Madam Wilma, they were ready to provide constructive feedback while also giving us the autonomy to teach in our own way. That balance of support and independence allowed us to develop our teaching styles and for me to gain confidence in our abilities. So it was not just about learning from textbooks or theory, but it was about putting those lessons into practice, making real time adjustment, and seeing firsthand how dynamic teaching can be. So Beyond the formal mentorship, the community spirit at SK Seri Sabah Uni itself really stood out to me. And whether it was collaborating with our peers or participating in school events, there was always a sense of togetherness. Like that made the experience so much more enriching, as we were not only learning to teach, but also to be part of a school community. The pupils themselves were so eager to engage, and their enthusiasm for learning kept me motivated throughout the entire practicum. You know what? Even when I face challenges, the school environment fostered a sense of encouragement and optimism that helped me to stay focused on my growth as a future teacher. So honestly, looking back, I felt like the practicum was such a valuable learning experience because the environment of like SK Sri Sabah Uni provided, it truly gave us the opportunity to grow both personally and professionally. What do you think, Sophia? How did the school's environment influence your experience?
Without a doubt, Shada. So, for me, the facilities at SK Seri Sabah Uni were absolutely fantastic. From the moment we walked into the classroom, it was clear that the school prioritized creating a conducive learning environment. Each classroom was equipped with smart TVs, which was a huge advantage for me as a practicum teacher. So it made it so much easier for us to incorporate multimedia into our lessons, whether it was showing videos to illustrate concepts, using interactive slides to engage the pupils, or giving dynamic presentations that brought the subject matter to life. So these tools really helped us break away from traditional teaching methods and made learning more interactive and fun for the pupils. The school also had a well-stocked library that was a great resource for both teachers and students. It offered a wide variety of reading materials, which helped us supplement our lessons and offer pupils different learning avenues. Not only that, the availability of teaching resources like worksheets, flashcards, and also educational games provided us with the freedom to be creative in our approach, catering to various learning styles and also keeping lessons fresh and exciting. The teacher, and not only that, I would also talk about the staff there. The teachers and staff at SK Seri Sabah Uni were equally remarkable. They were not only highly professional, but also incredibly approachable and generous with their advice, whether it was providing lesson plan ideas, offering guidance on classroom management strategies, or sharing their experiences and insights. They were always ready to lend a helping hand. This sense of what we call professionalism within the school made us feel supported and valued, and it played a huge role in our personal and professional development as future educators. And of course, I also can't forget the canteen food. It was honestly the best ever. Every day, the staff and the staff would serve up a variety of delicious meals, but what stood out the most was the warmth and hospitality of the canteen workers. They made sure that we always had a quick break with food that not only energized us but also brought us closer to the school community. I think we both gained a bit of weight with all the brownies and ice Milo. but it was totally worth it.
What an interesting sharing about canteen, Sophia. But I do agree with you. Like the foods from canteen are totally unforgettable. So back to your sharing just now, I do want to agree with your sayings about the supports from both the staff and administrations at SK Sri Sabah Uni was something that made our practicum experience truly unforgettable. What really stood out to me was how invested they were in our development as future teachers. They did not just observe from the sidelines, but all of them were actively took part in our learning journey. There were times when I was unsure about how to handle certain classroom situations, and they would step in with a practical suggestion and or just like offer encouragement to keep me going. I think for me personally, that's what make SK Sri Sabah Uni such a special place for me and for us, of course. So, if I want to add on, um, for me, it was not just the academic guidance that stood out. The school also fostered a culture of collaborations and family that extended beyond the classroom, like Sophia said. Whether it was informal chats during lunch breaks or after school discussions, there was always a sense of mutual support. I want to share something. Like I remember the other teachers being incredibly generous with their time, always like willing to share resources or offer advice, regardless their like subjects specialty. We will not only be guided by English teachers, but some other teachers, either religious teachers, mathematics, or science, they would always willingly to share their advices with us. So for me, this openness really helped me to feel like I was a part of a team rather than just an outsider or observer. So it was so inspiring to see how all the community of the school worked together to provide the best possible learning experiences for the pupils. And another thing that really helped me grow as a teacher was the regular feedback we received. After each lesson, I would meet with my mentor, Madam Khalila, or also other experienced teachers, and they would offer constructive feedback, helping me to refine my technique and also approach. This continuous cycle of teaching, feedback, and also reflection really accelerated my learning and pushed me to be better each day. So I felt like personally I was always keep improving, and that is one of the most valuable aspect of the practicum for me. And on top of all of that, the pupil themselves contributed so many to my development. Their eagerness to learn and their curiosity constantly motivated me to push my boundaries as a teacher. I also learned how important it is to be adaptable and flexible, especially when dealing with a wide range of personalities and learning styles. There were moments when I had to think on my feet and change my approach mid lesson, and I was so nervous during that time. And that is something I will carry with me throughout my teaching career in the future. So I think above all, SK Sri Sabah Uni taught me that teaching is not just about delivering content, but it's about being present, listening, and also responding to the needs of the pupils. It reinforced my belief that being a good teacher is not just about knowledge, but also it's about creating an environment where pupils feel safe, supported, and encouraged to grow. It was truly a transformative experience that has shaped the way I will approach teaching in the future. Don't you agree, Sophia?
I couldn't agree more with you, Shwada. It exactly. Looking back at our practicum experience, it feels like it was a pivotal moment for both of us, right? It wasn't just about applying the theories we learned in IPG, but also about learning to adapt in real classroom situation, or we call that real classroom settings. The feedback from our mentors, Madam Wilma and Madam Khalila, the challenge we faced, and also the triumph we celebrated all contributed to shaping who we are as future educators. For me, one of the key takeaways was the importance of building trust with the pupils. Once they trust you, they are more open to learning and willing to participate in everything you do in the classroom, either group works, group projects, classroom discussion, and more. That connections can be the foundation of everything else. Don't you agree with me, Shwada?
Yes, Sophia, absolutely. It's like building trust is essential. It's like the crucial part of all. So I have come to realize that teaching is as much about relationships as it is about academics. It is about creating a safe space where pupils felt comfortable to express themselves and also take risks in their learning. And like you said, Sophia, the feedback we receive from our mentors really help us to grow. I could say this so many times that Madam Khalila and Madam Wilma help us refine our approach, pinpoint areas where we could improve, and also like highlighted the strengths we did not always see in ourselves. So that is so for me, I'm so grateful for that. And I think that is one of the greatest things about this practicum. It was not just about teaching the pupils, but also about us, ourselves, as like future teachers to learn and grow every single day. Right, Sophia?
I completely agree with you, Shwada. I can relate. I can relate to you. And it's not just the feedback from the mentors, but also from the pupils themselves, I think. So their reactions, even their silent gestures, told me a lot about how well I was engaging with them during the teaching and learning. For example, when I saw them excited to participate in class activities, or when they made an effort to share what they learned, it was a sign that I was doing something right. I feel that I was doing something good. At the same time, there were moments when I could tell they were struggling, and that is when I think that I had to step back, reassess, and figure out how I need to approach things differently, like either different teaching methods, teaching styles, or any hands on activities in the classroom.
Yes, Sophia, I think that is a great point. I believe that reflecting on how our pupils respond is so important. It helps us recognize when we need to adjust our strategies, teaching plan, and methods. Plus, I also think that it is crucial to keep learning from each lesson. Even the lesson that did not go as planned provided valuable insight. From my experiences, I remember that one particular lesson where I tried a new activity, but it did not go quite as I expected. So at first, I was so frustrated. I remember like crying over that lessons and even throwing tantrums to my practical mate. But after reflecting on it, I realized that it was not the activity that failed. It was the way I presented it that made me realize how important it is to be flexible and willing to change things up when needed. So it do like change a lot of my mindsets. Do you remember that, Sophia?
Yes, Shuhada, that is so true. Flexibility, we call that flexibility, has definitely become one of the key skills I'm taking away from this practicum. There were moments when things didn't go according to plan, and I had to quickly come up with backup. I mean, all of us need plan B, right? But I have realized that being adaptable doesn't just apply to lesson plans. It is about adapting to the needs of our pupils at the moment. We know that each student has their own way of learning, and sometimes we need to adjust our methods to suit them, right? So it is a balancing between sticking to the plan and being responsive to the situation in front of us. I think like that. And what do you think, Shwada?
Exactly, Sophia. I think what you think. So it is a dynamic, like I think it is like a dynamic process, and I think that's what makes teaching so exciting and fulfilling. Maybe like I think the juniors, our juniors that have not go to the practicum yet, they will not understand this kind of situation yet, but I believe, I hope they will feel excited to do this practicum phase, because like no 2 days are ever the same. For me, every lesson is an opportunity to learn about something new about our pupils and about ourselves. Even like at this moment, before this, I thought like, oh, I already knew myself the best. But after the practicum session, it's actually made me to understand myself better. And as you said earlier, Sophia, these experiences are shaping us into better educators, future educators. And I feel like this practicum has helped us to build a solid foundation, and mm, it's like given the confidence to move forwards in our future careers in education. So we have seen firsthand how impactful teaching can be, not just in terms of academic achievement, but in fostering emotional and also personal growth in our pupils. Right, Sophia, don't you agree?
Very good, Shwada. I couldn't agree more with you. So it is, for me, it is about more than just delivering lessons. It is about what we call that nurturing the whole children. That is what makes teaching so rewarding. I feel like I have learned not only how to teach, but also how to support, encourage, and also empower my pupils to become the best versions of themselves. It is this holistic approach that I think we will carry with us forever into our future classroom.
Without a doubt, I do agree with that. And that's what makes all the challenges worth it. We have learned so much, and I believe it's only the beginning. And this practicum has been a stepping stone in our journey, and I'm so excited to see where it takes us next. Like the lesson we have learned here about teaching, about empathy, and about adapting will guide us as we continue to grow as educators. Right, Sophia?
I couldn't agree more with you, Shwada. We have the same thoughts. So, I want to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to SK Sri Sabah Uni, community Sabah Uni, teachers, staff, and community for making our practicum so special. And of course, a special thank to my practicum mates as well, Shuhada, Dini, and also Rehana for being my backbone throughout this journey. I truly appreciate each of you.
Yes, Sophia, I share the exactly same sentiment. Thank you so much, Sophia, yourself, for always being there through all my ups and downs, offering support and encouragement when it was needed most. This journey, if honestly, I would say like wouldn't have been the same without you and our other practical mates by my side. So to our practical mates, Sophia, Rehana, and Hasha, and the entire SK Sri Sabah Uni family, I would say, we are truly grateful for the unforgettable memories, the warm sense of community, and the invaluable lesson we have gained throughout this experience. Each of you, I would say, has played a role, a crucial role, a very important role in shaping our growth as a future educators. And personally, I would add on that having like gone to Sabah Uni for our first practicum, it was like the best decision we have like done and decide. So, and finally, I would say thank you to everyone here for taking the time to listen to our practical journey. We sincerely hope that by sharing our experiences, challenges, and reflection, we can inspire and guide our juniors and other educators in their own teaching journeys. We hope that our stories offer ideas, encouragement, and practical insight to help improve teaching practices and, of course, ultimately create more meaningful learning experiences for pupils. So, I think it has been an honor to share these chapters of our life with you all. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Nur Aina Sofia dan Nurul Syahada atas perkongsian itu sebentar tadi. Semoga perkongsian sebentar tadi dapat memberi manfaat kepada kita semua. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada semua yang setia menonton dari awal hingga ke akhir rancangan ini. Terima kasih juga saya ucapkan kepada pihak urus setia di belakang tabir dan kru penerbitan yang telah menjayakan program ini. Sebelum saya akhiri webinar kali ini, izinkan saya menyampaikan dua rangkap pantun. Bulan dan bintang saling bermesra, menghias langit bersulam awan. Andai ada salah bicara, mohon ampun harap dimaafkan. Kapal berlabuh di hujung muara, bersama barangan untuk didagang. Tibalah sudah di penghujung acara, moga bersua pada masa akan datang. Sekian wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.